Welcome back to Rich Words Music, where today we're looking at this. It's the Sonicake Rude Mouse. And if you heard the name Rude Mouse and instantly thought of the ProCo Rat 2, well yes, you're correct in surmising that this pedal is indeed Sonicake's take on the legendary Overdrive, Distortion and Fuzz pedal that first came out in the late 1970s and has been on the boards of so many iconic guitar players since then. But what do guitarists love so much about the Rat? Well, for me personally, and I'm a huge fan of Rat-style circuits, it's not so much the flavour of the drives that you can get. Well, it is the flavour of the drives that you can get, but it's also the variety of drive sounds that you can get too. So with my Rat pedals, I can get everything from great pushed cleans through to lovely light and medium gain overdrives. Then there's distortions all the way up to really thick, out of control distortions, and there's some pretty gnarly fuzzes to be found in a Rat type pedal too. And so what I'm going to do with this video is put the Rude Mouse, which Sonicake sent to me to make the video, through its paces in as many of those different musical styles and settings as possible. So it's a very mini pedal, a pretty mini price too, at about €30 or $30. So let's see if it's worthy of the Rat, or at least the Rude Mouse name. So let's look at the front of the pedal then and see the controls. We've got a gain knob here, more of that equals more dirt. We have the level control there for your volume, and on the right here we have a filter control. Now on Rat pedals you have a filter as opposed to a tone control, and as you turn it up you're filtering out the top end in your sound. So it kind of seems to be like a tone control but back to front. Think of it like that and you'll get used to it pretty quickly. And here we have a two-way mini switch to select between two different circuits within the Rude Mouse pedal. So up at the top here we have the classic setting, and that's more like the standard Rat circuit. Flick it down to hot mode and that gives you a boost of extra volume and more brightness to your tone too. But what we're going to do now is actually play the Rude Mouse. So my rig for today is going to be my Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200 amp, and will be on the amp's clean channel for most of the time. I shall be using my Fender Telecaster for single coil tones and my Epiphone Les Paul for humbucking tones. After the riffs are done, I shall be doing a loop with each of the guitars and really twisting the controls of the Rude Mouse to their extremes to hear how cool we can go and to what extreme settings we can get this pedal to. And at the very end, we shall do a loop between the Rude Mouse and the original and best ProCo Rat 2. Enough talk then. This is the Sonicake Rude Mouse. Let's play it now and we'll speak in more detail about it afterwards. Okay then, so that was the Sonicake Rude Mouse, and I hope you enjoyed the playing and the tones. But I can say straight off the bat that if you're a fan of Rat-type distortions and overdrives, like I am, you'll have known straight away what this pedal is. It's a Rat-type pedal, and it does that thing. So let me get straight in then to talking about the things that I like and dislike about the Rude Mouse. First then, the tones and the versatility. This does those Rat-style sounds. There's no getting away from the fact that this was clearly influenced by the Rat. It's a very similar tonality, and as you'll have heard from the loop against the ProCo Rat 2, you can get these pedals to sound pretty much identical. They're not 100% spot on though, and you have to tweak them a little bit to make them sound similar. So the Sonicake team actually told me that they have done their own design on this circuit. They obviously paid a massive homage to the original, but they have tweaked it to their own liking, and for me it does sound just a little bit different. In some settings the original ProCo Rat sounds a tiny bit grainier to me than the Rude Mouse does. Now that's not a good thing or a bad thing, it's just a sonic difference. So there you go, this is not a straight 100% rip-off or clone or anything like that. So that's cool, and it does do a massive variety of tones. So I got those lovely pushed cleans, I got really nice lower gain indie and classic rock tones. When we went through to slightly higher gain stuff and did the hard rock and the progressive rock and the punk, it handled those really well too. And the Rat pedal, or the Rude Mouse in this case, they've never been the kinds of pedals to play modern, tight, chuggy metal, but it did that a little bit too, and it even went up and did a couple of really fuzzy numbers as well. So go back through the sound settings in case you missed anything and hear those. But in terms of tonal versatility, in terms of the amounts of different drives that you can get from this pedal, really, really impressed. It does that Rat or Rude Mouse thing. I also really like the practicality of this pedal. Now it's super cheap at 30 euros, but it feels like decent quality, and of course it's tiny, so it can fit on pretty much any kind of mini pedal board. If you're limited for space and want some gnarly drive sounds, you can fit this into pretty much any small corner. And I think quality wise as well, it's going to last gigging. It's a solid metal chassis. It feels like it could be thrown into the back of your touring van. It feels like you could be jumping up and down on it for gigs for quite a long time, and it's probably not going to break. So in terms of those things, very much worth looking into. And the one other thing that I really like about the Rude Mouse is the fact that it doesn't squeal. And that might seem like a really weird advantage to mention, but actually I've owned a bunch of cheaper Rat pedals over the years, a bunch of clones too, and some of the cheaper ones have this issue where once you turn the gain up past about 12 o'clock and once you turn the filter down, so bring more of the highs into your tone, when you're not playing anything with the guitar, you get a horrible high-pitched squealing or wailing noise, which is really difficult to dial out. So that's a problem with a lot of cheaper Rat type pedals, but is not a problem with the Rude Mouse. So brownie points there to Sonicake for eradicating that. So what don't I like about the Rude Mouse then? Well, for this price, for 30 euros, it's practically nothing. I like pretty much everything about it. I mean, the one complaint that I do have is the complaint that I have with pretty much every Rat pedal, and that's the fact that up past about 10 or 11 o'clock on the gain control for me, it's not really usable anymore. I mostly play indie and classic rock and a bit of alternative rock, and I really don't need the drive to be up past more than about 2 or 3 on the control here. And that does mean that sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to actually tweak how much drive I want, because it does massive shifts from almost nothing through to full-on distortion by the time you get to about 10 o'clock. So what I would love to see in future, by the way, and this is nothing to do with the Rude Mouse at this point, is a Rat-style pedal that actually offers the amount of drive that is in this part of the pedal but throughout the whole gain knob sweep. So if any companies out there are watching this, build that pedal and I'll buy it. It would be a slightly politer mouse than the Rude Mouse. And again, this is not really a problem with the Rude Mouse. This is a problem that is endemic in Rat type pedals. Apart from that, there's nothing that I dislike about it whatsoever. So who is the Rude Mouse for then, and should you buy one? Well, I would say that if you're looking to dip your toe into the waters of the Rat pedal, if you've not got a pedal like this and you want to try it out for a very, very small price, then the Rude Mouse is a great option. Similarly, if you've got a pedal board with just a little free corner and you want to add a different flavor of drive to it, the Rude Mouse is great for that as well. It does that Rat thing, it does all those tones. It's a versatile, decent quality pedal at a very, very small budget. Now, of course, there are a bunch of other Rat pedals that you could try out as well. The original and best being the ProCo Rat 2. That's the one that launched 1,000 imitators, but there's a bunch of others that I've looked at on my channel in the past, and there are a few links up there and down there if you'd like to watch more of those videos too. But for example, off the top of my head, I can think of the Wampler Rat Spain, which is also a mini pedal which costs around 3 or 4 times as much as the Rude Mouse, but has different filters, different modes, and is a wonderful sounding and fantastic quality pedal. Then there's other boutique American built ones like the Grio Warfare, and there are other budget options by the likes of Moore and many others as well. So if you're interested in Rat type pedals, get down to your local dealer, try a few out, try the Sonicake one out. There's definitely going to be one that floats your boat and fulfills your needs as well. At the end of the day then, I really have to give 2 thumbs up to the Sonicake Rude Mouse. It's a great Rat style pedal, it's a great size, it's a great price, it feels good quality, and I love the tones I've been getting from it. But hey, I'm a massive Rat fanboy, so of course I would have been loving these tones, and I'm going to be keeping this pedal, and it may indeed make its way onto a mini board of mine in the very near future. Now, if you're still around, it would mean the world to me if you could like this video, perhaps even subscribe to my channel or share it with some of your guitar playing friends, because that really helps me and it will help us build this little Rich Words music community that we're starting to build over here. If you want to watch some similar videos by me, there's a couple being recommended to you here, and you can sub to me by clicking the little Rich face up there in the corner as well. But that's been it for today's video. I've been Rich for Rich Words Music, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.